The media has placed images in your mind, by way of pictures, that are untrue. In many ways they showed you that Judas, alleged to be Yeshua aka Jesus, was carrying a full-size cross on his shoulders. Then they have shown you Simon of Cyrene carrying a cross on his shoulders. In actuality, during crucifixions, the victim carried only a horizontal beam long enough to support his arms when stretched out, and thick enough not to split when attached to the stake. Now how can you explain the so-called pictures of Christ, or even Judas for that matter, carrying a cross, when no one at all carried a complete cross? As of April 28, 1996 AD, a new religion was created called Elvis Presleyism. This group consists of about 200 people so far. To become a part of this group, you have to eat 6 meals a day, including snacks in between, and make a pilgrimage to Graceland in Memphis, Tennessee. To join the faith, you have to pledge to be anti-Michael Jackson. Yes, they made Michael Jackson the devil in their religion. Was Judas ever forgiven for betraying Jesus? Yes. Judas said, "I have sinned, and I have betrayed innocent blood." This meant that he repented and was forgiven by God the Father. Most churches never inform their congregations about this fact. Now read it for yourself. Matthew 27:3-4, King James Version, KJV, "Then Judas, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself, and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders, saying, I have sinned in that I have betrayed the innocent blood. And they said, What is that to us? See thou to that." Most of the people that join militant radical organizations, be they black, white, or Oriental supremacist groups, are of the less fortunate, poorer class. Because it is much easier to convince themselves that being rich is a plot against them, this keeps them from being able to get over that hurdle onto success. We applaud success because it means that we too can succeed. Be careful of those freeloaders who set themselves up as leaders of these kinds of organizations. They only want to capitalize off those in need. What hypocrites! They frequently declare their odium of capitalism, they constantly repeat what the European has done to the black man, or they repeat what the black race is planning to do to the white race, or they convince the blacks and the whites that the Orientals are here to do harm to them and take over. Researchers studying the phenomenon know that crop circles are not man-made hoaxes. 1976 AD was the first recorded sighting of the circles by a farm worker at Headbourne Worthy Manor, in Hampshire. In 1980 AD, researchers became much more serious about crop circles. Since then, there have been more than 900 occurrences in Britain alone. There have been reports of crop circles from Russia, New Zealand, Japan, and in America. These crop circles are similar to the runways that were made by extraterrestrials, when they came to Earth 450,000 years ago, from Mars, when they set up a civilization that you now call the Egyptian culture. These landing strips located in Nazca, Peru have remained here undamaged for thousands of years, although they are in plain areas, or flatland. Peru is also the locale of one entrance to the subterranean world. Refer to Mission Earth and the extraterrestrial involvement by Dr. Malachi Z. York L. The following quote comes from an internet article, Crop Circle Meanings, Understanding the Symbols by Steve Canada, and this is what it says: I have discovered the key to deciphering the redundant patterns in crop circles. They are a communication system. Linear, multicolored crop formations are decipherable as statements. Ancient ruler Yaa-Nun descends from Nibiru with multiplied Marduk's lightning weapon. Crop circle symbols are consistent with ancient symbols used for the 10th planet, known as the Sumerians of Nibiru, literally planet of crossing. Crosses are a crop circle type. The following quote comes from a Unicus magazine article, Crop Circle Astral Symbology by Steve Repetti. A planet at least 4 times larger than Tiamat approached from deep space, and was called Nibiru, or Marduk in Babylon. Nibiru was gravitationally attracted into our solar system and began passing the outer planets so closely that they exchanged moons. Tiamat was cleaved in 2, nearly half of which was scattered out and spread into what is now called the asteroid belt, just beyond Mars. The surviving head of Tiamat moved closer to the Sun, took up its new orbit ahead of Mars, and was renamed Eridu/Earth. The symmetry and some of the most complex pictograms are repeating a message. The Earth appears to be circled by way of a straight path to a larger solid body. There are 2 broken paths resembling equation marks on either side of the main connecting pathway. As a broken path, it would appear to represent a transitional object or event in the transformation or exchange of the 2 connected spheres on its sides. This represents the role Nibiru played between Earth and Mars. The areas in position 4, 5, 6 are the most confusing, because this is where Nibiru collided with Tiamat and released Earth to a new position, replacing the position of Mars. It is important to note, Tiamat existed long before the collision with Nibiru, which generated Earth and the asteroid belt. The lightning weapon, first article. was the Tilu, which was a laser beam Anu, Sumerian the Heavenly One, Ashuric Syriac/Arabic, I am, gave to Marduk, Sumerian leader of the deities, supreme deity. The Creation 430, the Holy Tablets, second printing. Marduk was given the Tilu weapon, a red beam of light, or a light beam ray gun from the gemstone, sardius, a laser that was created by his grandfather Anu to stop Tarnush in his disagreeable ways. He succeeded in his mission. What are the Holy Tablets? The Holy Tablets, aka the Book of Law, is a text that contains information that your historians and scholars forgot to tell you. It is not a book that flows. By that I mean, it is an accumulation of different scriptures and other texts that were put together and condensed into a book that is called the Holy Tablets. It consists of ancient scriptures such as the Gilgamesh epics, Enuma Elish, Etana, and the Suhuf, which all came before the Bible and the Quran, which are also referred to in the Holy Tablets. These ancient tablets are the way they were originally written by their authors and cannot be altered or rearranged. Is there a spiritual connection between the pictures in the Holy Tablets and those who look like them? Yes. They are genetically related. Yet, many of them deny the facts. There is an eye, not the physical eye for seeing, but the eye for inner seeing, the third eye. This name was attributed to the inner seeing by the elders in association to using insight or the spiritual light, which is exercised by man in the beginning. Ancient spiritual healers, learnt men, teachers and loyal devotees of mystic schools also had knowledge of the third eye and the light. It has been identified under such names as a virtue, vital energy, invisible antenna, and a stream of vital power, cosmic energy. The ancient Egyptians identified with the third eye and was made visible throughout their culture, and further referred to as the sleeping serpent. The third eye is your insight or inner sense that all men were born with, but most have never exercised. This is the sleeping power that one must strengthen. When the third eye is used, the entire body is consumed with light, meaning the etheric body and the physical body alike are attuned with each other. Matthew 6:22, Luke 11:34, John 1:5, Psalms 119:18. All throughout the scriptures, references are made to the third eye, not the physical eye. This is the power that resides within every man that lies dormant waiting for the proper channels to be activated, so that this power can become active. This is a power that must be exercised through meditation, proper diet, discipline and certain daily rituals, which will attune you with your natural supreme state in which man was created. Then there is the inner heart, not the physical heart, which pumps blood that circulates around the body, but the inner heart, which is the seat of inner sensing. Part of the evil spell that has a hold on you are negative spirit forces within the oppressed sent there by Leviathan, Levi, Law, Othin, Sin, and this means, although those negative spirit forces are within the captives, they are enemies of the captives and thereby working against the captives by compelling the oppressed to do the very things that are against the oppressed, in the rise from their bondage. It is a very depressive position for a race of people to be in, having forces within the self constantly working against the self and kind. This force is called Ra, the disagreeable or the negative side of will, Genesis 3:22. But that is the position of the oppressed, and the only way to destroy the negative forces that maintain that position is to destroy the negativism, ignorance, that those negative forces live and strive on. The acceptance of right knowledge is the solution, for that leads to right thinking, and right thinking leads to right action. The Shibboleth Elo, or the English God, is our bona fide Israelites descending through Judah, inheritance. However, meeting the conditions of being a disciplined, congenial one is one of our truest challenges. Occasionally, it is needful to review one's state. Dr. Malachi Z. York-El has taken on the assignment of resuscitating and gathering the lost, many of which are thick-headed, tribe for the last 35 years. He reiterated recently, which inspired this echoing editorial, that we should be amicable towards all regardless of their beliefs, religion, affiliation, etc. Obviously, he still, not the first time he has blown this whistle, sees many misusing the teachings. Once learnt we are to teach simpatico-seekers, not argumentative skeptics who, by the way, are an inadequate excuse for our misbehavior. As the Supreme Grand Master declared, to dispute over religion is a sign that none of you are. If you are saying, that is outdated, we are not supposed to be religious anyway, you have missed the point. We should not scold the less informed, neither should we arrogantly instruct, intending to impress others. This disagreeable deportment deters more than attracts. Furthermore, it is considerably dull and uninteresting. Be aware of, and prepare for, the instant your leaf will fall from the tree, Holy Tablets, the Creation, Tablet 13, the moment your robes, possessions, noble sobriquets and flesh will pass. Quoting York-El, look around you because it will all be here when you are gone. After your belongings are divided, The remainder will be your invaluable, hopefully journeying soul. Selah. J. A. Rogers' From Superman to Man was highly appropriate for the times, 1950s and 60s, and is still a good read. Still, nowadays, long time acknowledging children of the Most High, and cohorts of an appointed master should be flourishing to grander observable degrees. Wedding rings symbolize the binding of the two souls before Elion El, Aramaic/Hebrew the Most High, the highest. Its circular shape is a symbol of eternity, a symbol of everlasting life. It is representative of the sacred contract between man and woman, a mutual agreement with respect and love. The stronghold and foundation of human society. In ancient times, a ring was not used for the ceremony. Instead, the men gave their brides a gold coin. The giving of gifts to the bride is supported by the Holy Scriptures. The marriage of Isaac. Genesis 24:51-53, Dr. York translation, DYT. Here, Rebecca is in front of your face. You Lorca take her and go and let her be your Adonai's Abraham Bain's son's Isaac Ishah confidant wife, as a Yahuwah has Dalbar spoken. And when Abraham's servant Eliezer heard these words, he prostrated himself down to the planet earth to a Yahuwah. And the slave Eliezer brought forth jewels of silver, and jewels of gold, and beached clothing, and Nathan gave them to Rebekah. He also gave to her brother Laban and to her mother Ziklag Magdana precious things. Al-Nisa. L's Holy Quran 4-4, wrong order, 92-4, original order, Dr. York translation, DYT, and give Al-Nisa the Innosite women, Sajukati Hina their dowries, as a Nalatin gift, free will offering. So if they allow for you all, males, any of the dowry willingly, so you, the males, are welcome to it, with enjoyment. Sadly, most modern-day Christians think that Jesus was born on December 25th, a date established by Pope Clement VII, 1478-1534 AD, a Roman emperor. He became pope in November of 1523-1534. With that, it became believable that Jesus was born on December 25th, a winter month. But the mere fact that the shepherds were outdoors in the fields tending their flocks, which they only did in the summer months, Jesus son of Mary was in fact, based on the scriptures of Luke 2:8, born in the summer. In Jerusalem during the month of December, it is very cold, and there is no way this child could be born in the cold. During the high point of the summer solstice between June 23rd through the highest point being June 26th, when the sheep would be grazing in the field, is when Jesus son of Mary was born. Luke 2:8, and there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. Luke 2:12, and this shall be a sign unto you, ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. Luke 2:15, and it came to pass, as the angels were gone away from them into heaven, the shepherds said one to another, let us now go even unto Bethlehem, and see this thing which is come to pass, which the Lord hath made known unto us. So, this quote refers to Jesus as a babe, and in the Greek word being used here in the Bible is brephos for newborn or infant. So, as you just read, this proves that the baby Jesus was born during the summer, in the year 7 AD based on the death of Herod.